Analysis: UK's Brexit woes threaten any other flagship policy. Levelling up: London dashed hopes, thus far at the least, that Brexit would tilt Britain's economic system toward boom driven by trade and investment or threatening any other of Prime Minister Boris Johnson's flagship rules. Levelling up: the areas outside of London. 6 years on from the vote to go away the European Union, the classic low-productivity British version of growth, pushed via intake, supported in component via growing house prices, seems as robust as ever. Britain has ignored out on tons of the worldwide recuperation in items exports as economies reopened from COVID-19 lockdowns, leaving it backside among group of 7 wealthy industrialized countries via this degree over the last 12 months. The Resolution Foundation assumed Tank this week mentioned that lackluster performance reflects a greater closed financial system given that Brexit. It also represents a ignored opportunity for Johnson's levelling up timetable, which objectives to lessen regional inequalities. Had British items exports grown in line with the common a number of the other 6 nations in the G7, they could have been well worth around £38 billion, $47 billion greater during the year to April 2022, based on a simple extrapolation. This represents several billions of pounds of lost sales for British factories and by way of extension the regions out of doors of London, seeing that around 95% of producing output takes area outside the capital, in step with 2017 authentic facts. Graphic: 20 image %, 201,655,990,997,235. Manufacturing comprises solely approximately 10% of British financial output average. But it's miles a key motive force of growth and funding in a number of the elements of England and Wales that voted closely to go away the EU in 2016, together with the East Midlands and North East areas. Unless Britain can meaningfully enhance its change overall performance, it can suggest extra missed opportunities to stage up. The areas that in all likelihood asked for Brexit are the maximum possibly to have visible the biggest negative effect from change, said Fahim Khan, senior economist from the Make UK Manufacturing Change Group. On Wednesday the Resolution Foundation said Brexit become not likely to bring about a huge restructuring of the principal sectors of Britain's economy, however it might have outcomes for levelling up. Our evaluation finds that the North East, one of the poorest areas within the UK, might be one of the toughest hit, and that Brexit will increase its present and massive productivity and profits gaps, the supposed Tank mentioned. Estimates of nearby financial growth hint at the size of the possibility already lost. In the primary zone of 2022, London's financial system ruled with the aid of services corporations changed into 2.6% larger than its stage of late 2019, earlier than the onset of COVID-19. Getting on with it. Proponents of Brexit say it's miles a long-term venture that can't be judged over the space of a few years, earlier than the advantages of an independent change and regulatory policy emerge as completely obvious. Regurgitations of Project Fear do not appear to get all of us anywhere, said Britain's Minister for Brexit Opportunities, Jacob Rees-Mogg, of this week's Resolution Foundation record. Britain's government wants to boost exports of goods and services to attain £1 trillion in line with year-in current expenses through the end of the last decade, up from their pre-pandemic level of £700 billion. The highest price of inflation in the G7 is probably to be a big driving force behind assembly that purpose, however, and progressed underlying exchange overall performance might go an extended way to boosting economic interest across the UK. Graphic: 20 image %, 201,655,993,231,730. PNG businesses, but want extra help to get there, the British Chambers of Commerce stated. It pointed to 5 practical measures that would improve trade with the EU, which accounts for greater than 40% of British exports, ranging from less crimson tape for food exports and a sales tax deal for small companies trading digitally with the EU to preparations for markings and testing of commercial goods. Businesses in the UK and EU nevertheless have accurate relationships and accept as true with each other. We need decision makers to comply with our lead and negotiate realistic improvements to the Brexit change deal, said William Bain, head of alternate coverage at the BCC. Khan from Make UK said part of the problem for policymakers become that producers had exceptional needs in distinctive elements of the U.S.